is Wolfgang Van Halen. That is Mammoth WVH. That is another celebration at the end of the world here on the morning after with Nic and Big J. He is going to be in town along with his band on the 30th of this month at the Knitting Factory Concert House, and it's always nice when we can have rock royalty on the show and catch up with the man himself. So it's an honor and privilege to welcome on to the show Wolfgang Van Halen. Hey, Wolfgang.
How's it going?
We're hanging in there, man. Thank you very much for making some time for us. We certainly appreciate it. I don't want to get you in trouble, but
thanks for having me.
Aren't you supposed to be like on a honeymoon or something like that?
Not yet. Don't have the time.
I was going to say, I mean, are you going to squeeze one in before the tour is actually rocking and rolling, or is this like once we're done with being on the road, then we can talk about it?
Yeah, that.
Before we get a chance to talk about you're coming to town, I just wanted to tell you that a big fan of the movie Barbie, and, the song, I'm Just Ken. I mean, when that started and that whole scene, I mean, I'm not a big musical guy when it comes to musicals and movie set pieces, but man, it put the biggest smile on my face, and I have so much fun watching that whole scene go down. Didn't realize until later that you had a part in that song. Tell us a little bit how you got involved in that and how that came to be.
Yeah, I met Mark Ronson at the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert at Wembley, and we just kind of hit it off, and he ended up hitting me up later and told me that he was working on Barbie, and he asked if I was free and that he needed me to play some stuff for him. So we ended up figuring it out. We opened the Metallica tour in Amsterdam, and instead of flying home, I flew to New York, and then I was hanging out with him and his writing partner, Andrew, for 2 days, and just kind of recorded stuff, and that's what happened.
Did you get a chance to see the movie when you were doing this stuff? Did you have any idea the amount of impact it was going to have when you decided to sign on to the project?
I knew it was going to be good, but I had no idea it would blow up to the insane amount that it did. But yeah, he kind of explained everything to me, and some shots would have stuff that was finished and some didn't, and it was really interesting. It was a very, very cool experience.
Awesome. Wolfgang Van Halen joins us on the horn. He's going to be in town here on the 30th of November at the Knitting Factory Concert House. As you're getting ready to kick this thing off, man, it's been 2 months now. The album's been on shelves. How is it kind of looking back on album number 2? Was it a good process? Anything different from album number 1 that stuck out to you?
Oh yeah, it was very different. The first album, I was kind of, I had all the time in the world. I was trying to figure out what the project was, who I was as my own songwriter and all that. And, I put the album together over the course of 3 years. And this album, we only had 2 months. So it was a lot faster of a process. I think for the third album, I would definitely want to take maybe a little bit more time. Yeah. But other than that, all I wanted to do was avoid the so-called sophomore slump. That was the only thing I kind of was focused on.
Yeah, and having a chance to go out and tour and just kind of figure out who you are. I think you probably had a pretty good chance to figure that out. How do you feel where you are in your process of being a music writer now at this point, and combining that with being a live showman and going out and doing these shows?
Yeah, you're right. It really did help. I think the entire, we played for 2 years, and I think that really informed the writing process for Mammoth 2, and I think that's why it ended up being a bit more aggressive and heavier in certain moments, because I was, kind of had that desire from playing live. It's like, oh man, this will go over really well live. That's why, this, like Another Celebration has that really thrashy breakdown and that really fun sort of solo moment. There's a lot more excitement. I really think that's just from touring and playing live and wanting something to kind of, have fun with the crowd.
So, Wolfgang, as you were preparing album number 2, does that mean because you were on the road so much in support of album number 1 that you found yourself writing on the road a lot? Did you enjoy that process at all? Or were you much more of I'm at home base, I can concentrate on this stuff kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's one or the other in particular. I think it's just kind of anytime inspiration hits, you got to make sure you capture the idea. My voice memos on my phone has just thousands of just random, terrible sounding things just to make sure I don't forget something that could possibly be good or bad. You never know. But I found lately, we've just been working so hard and touring for Mammoth 2. It's been wonderful, but I feel like I haven't really had the opportunity to sit and think and kind of get into that creative headspace again. So I'm definitely looking forward to, whenever I have the opportunity to take a breath in between tours. I think that's when I might find that sort of creative itch again, because right now we're just so focused on live.
And I picture you two being the kind of dude that's, you've got like a basis in the old world school of how to write music and the tools that you can use and being in a studio, and then also the new way of doing things and the digital tools that we have that you can have and you can take and use anywhere. You can combine those two and really kind of start to create something. How has that approach been for you in using that stuff?
Yeah, technology is incredible, but we still do use a lot of the old stuff in our studio. We track to tape. We do use Pro Tools, but we initially track to tape. And my main kind of rule is that I don't ever want to record something that I can't pull off live.
Yeah,
so that's a really, really, really big thing for me, because we don't use tracks live at all. The only track we have is we play to a click track, and we have an intro. I don't like to replace or to like pretend like I'm doing something or have any main vocals or guitars. It's like, it's everything you see. That's us, and that's it.
When you come through town here, Wolfgang, you're going to be here at the Knitting Factory along with Nita Strauss on this particular leg of the tour. Two amazing musicians at the top of their game. I'm sure that particular tandem was not an accident, right?
No, I mean, I feel like this was kind of destined. We had the Shared Guitar World cover at the end of last year.
Right.
And I think so highly of her. Her new album is great. I'm just really excited. This is going to be a really fun tour. This is sort of our first headline run I think Mammoth has ever really had, and I'm very, very excited. It's going to be a crazy tour.
Now, not to put any ideas in your head, but it feels like this sets up for like a real Crossroads Danielson v. Stevie Vai guitar battle on stage at these live shows.
That would be awesome. It's funny, like from all the friends I have in bands where I've toured with Alter Bridge and Seven Dust, and through that tour and all the times we've toured with them, it was like, oh, we're absolutely going to jam. We're absolutely going to jam. And then you get to the show and you're tired because something on your bus and you forget just like the travel and everything, how it makes you so tired that by the time that you have the opportunity to try and figure something out, you're like, I'd rather sleep another hour. So, while I would absolutely love to, we'll definitely see. I think it would be awesome, though.
That is fair and very diplomatic. Well done, sir. Well done.
You talked about going on this headlining tour, and you've of course been on shows, huge shows in arenas. And is it difficult to restrain yourself sometimes when you're putting together an idea or maybe production for a small club gigs like this that you're doing, or do you just kind of let whatever decide how the shows are presented?
Oh no, I mean I think the core of a Mammoth show is how we perform the material. That's my big thing. As long as we're playing to the best of our ability, the rest can come. We're very much a brand new baby band, so we can't really have all the crazy stuff that a band in a stadium has. But we're very aware of that, and you work around that and you try to give the best show possible. And I'm very, very excited. Like for example, this tour is the first tour that we're going to have a dedicated lighting guy, which is really exciting. We've been lucky enough to have things go well enough for us that we can hire a new guy to do lights for us. So that's a really cool extra thing, because we want to give back and make sure that we can give the best show possible to everybody, and that's because of them coming to see us. So it's a really great thing to do.
When you start playing guitar and you get into bands, one of the things you want to do is obviously make some terrific music. What you don't think is you got to figure out who's running lighting on a 2-month run at the end of 2023. How goes How goes that decision-making process for you? Is that something you do enjoy, or is it just tedious?
That goes to all the gray hairs on my manager's chin. I have my guy Tim is the best guy in the world, and he knows exactly how to put everything together. Luckily, from Mammoth's inception, we have had a wonderful group of people surrounding us, and we all weathered the storm together, and we figure out everything together, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, I tell you what, man, we are jacked that you are coming through town again. We are honored to be on that co-headlining run that you did with Dirty Honey a while back, so it's not lost on us that you have made Boise a pit stop on several of these runs. So thank you very much for doing that. We appreciate it, man.
Can't wait, man. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome. Thank you for the time catching up today, too, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. You guys take care.
You too. Bye-bye.